At the just concluded roundtable on strategic analytics and intelligent insight, powered by Value Frontiera Nigeria Limited, there was a panel session on function-specific application of business analytics. Panelists discussed on how business analytics can be effectively utilized in Nigeria.
So again, the topic is business analytics, something quite big in business globally, but something that we've not gotten a grasp of yet in Nigeria. The issue has been quite well introduced by Dr. Martin Oluba. This is the first time attending such an event where people are looking at business analytics and measuring where we are. There are lots of consulting firms in Nigeria, and what they do has to do with mining data, analyzing data, and this is quite big globally, but we've not, there's a deficiency in Nigeria, talking about the level we are, the sophistication. So these are the issues we'll be looking at today. But this panel specifically is looking at the issue of business analytics as related to different business functions: marketing, HR, supply chain management, finance, and even IT itself. I think after this introduction, I hand over the mic to Ms. Uche Nwosu to talk for 5 minutes about the issue.
Thank you, and good morning. I think when you look at I think I'd just like to start rather from looking at research in general. And one thing I can say, and I can't underscore that, and I'm sure panel members will agree with me, in saying that from the point of view of a business, you really need to be in a position to make informed decisions and also to operate from a strategic perspective. And that's actually the value that research brings to any business. Now, when you're looking at analytics and business and data, I think that also lends to the kind of value that you can bring to your business. But you know, if you look at the Nigerian environment, and I know that he's talked about marketing, supply chain, and the rest of it. If you look at where we are, I would say that yes, there are some businesses that use analytics, but I think the question is how widespread is it? How does it influence decision making? I think if you look at the financial services, you look at also oil and gas, you know, you do find that there is, you know, analytics are used to make business decisions, whether it's in terms of managing operational risk, marketing risk, credit risk, and the rest of it. However, I think there's also a place for hunch and intuition in business, and I think that's also something that, you know, plays its part. But I think the question is whether that plays too much of a part in our business environment is also something that one needs to look at. Now, if you look at in terms of are we where we ought to be, I would say I don't think we are. Basically because I don't think that we have, if I look at businesses in general, that we've actually developed a culture where you would say analytics, and that is used to drive business decisions on a day-to-day basis. I'm not sure you can say that for all businesses, although, like I said, it is something that's used in FCMG, financial services, investment banking, and so on, and so forth. But I think that if we're going to make inroads in this sphere, and I think rightly, even as Martin's pointed out, and also the chairman of the occasion, is that you need to really have, you know, you need to look at leadership in terms of the mindset, in terms of the kind of structures, in terms of the kind of reward systems that promote such behaviors. Because I think that there's so much to be gained from making informed decisions by using business analytics.
It's likely to be the case that the approach to analytics will be dictated by the culture, by the practices they're bringing in from their home market. Can we safely assume that they follow best practices from their home market? If this is the case, then we may start to think, where are the gains, where are the deficiencies in the Nigerian market what's oil and gas contributing to our economy or FMCG? If they're already doing business analytics very well, maybe we need to emphasize banking, maybe it's agriculture, and if you look at these sectors, who are the drivers of growth? Is it the private sector or the government? Who then should lead the charge to be doing analytics? Those are the questions I think I want to bring out from your intervention. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Ayo, AfroInvest. Yeah, firstly, I would like to first of all break it down. You say business analytics. What does that mean? We can simply means trying to interpret business data. If what we've noticed based on my little research is based on the data is available, but the right skills in analyzing this data, that is what I think we lack in Nigeria. And we can see that impacting or reflecting on how the companies have performed over time. Like as an example of looking at the internet, there's this company, Capital One in US, the company has grown on an average of 20% revenue since 1994 it was set up. But what do? They try to analyze at least 60,000 products in a year. They try to model that into their company, and they are able to come up with informed decisions, not just based on intuition. They are able to come up with fact-based decisions, which have helped to grow the business. And what can we do to that? I think the management or the executives need to see that analyzing data is very key to the success of their business. And I feel what we need to be working on in Nigeria, developed world, is trying to automate this data, getting a software that can enable you reduce the time you use in gathering the data, but getting a sophisticated software that can help you, that has that feature to critically analyze, like the new platform that the stock exchange has introduced, algorithm, which has been used in developed world.
To what extent is the banking industry using analytics, and what's the effect on the industry and the general economy? You started by setting the example of Capital One. I know a bit how the target you as a consumer based on the research. Is it the same thing in the Nigerian banking industry? Is there a link between the research and development unit of the bank and product development? And how are we seeing this, this synergy in the kind of products they bring to the market? Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Funchal K from BGL. I think to take a lead from from the chairman about the sector-specific need for analytics, to be very interesting for us as the agricultural sector, which, as most of us, or maybe even all of us here know, is the largest sector in our economy, becomes more sophisticated because of federal and state government intervention and renewed strategy for us to finally start getting mineable data from that huge sector, employing 70 million Nigerians, mostly at subsistence level, but thriving if the GDP figures are anything to go by. We're talking about 3-4% growth per year, rain-fed, completely unsophisticated. As value is being added, we'll see, even further growth. But as value is being added, we'll also be able to garner a treasure trove of information on a sector that's the biggest, but has been a bit of a black hole when it comes to information. If most farmers across the country will have the benefit of having phone-based pricing information and product information, then at the same time we'll be able to know more about the nature of these farmers, the nature of their products, the nature of their challenges, and sectors like the finance sector will be better able to interface with them than ever before. But that's just to bring out my thoughts on the sector specificity of analytics regarding Nigeria. On a more general note, I think what the situation is from my humble perspective is that we have quite a few private sector players who have a deep appreciation of business analytics. And as Madame pointed out, the financial sector is probably a leading light in this regard. The oil and gas sector is also quite active in their use of analytical tools. I've also been privy to the fact that the large sort of big box retailers, which we can see all over Nigeria, are using very, very sophisticated tools that match not just number crunching, but also geographical tools, and meld them together and bring out almost surefire projects that they can then make their very high level investment decisions upon. That's very interesting. I think it's quite new to this country that we map, and at the same time we number crunch, and we make our business decisions based on that. So there are some leading lights when it comes to analytics, but my take on it is that most of these very active business analytic private sector concerns are still largely in the descriptive end of the business analytic value chain, where you have the descriptive, you have the predictive, where the descriptive, itself explains itself, describes what you have, it's based mostly on past happenings and data. And you have descriptive type analytics, which tells you where you are, basically, and gives some foretelling of where you might be. But very few Nigerian concerns will be able to reach out to the prescriptive type business analytics, where the numbers that you crunched and data that you put together will be able to prescribe specific actions for you to be able to aim towards your objective. Very few Nigerian concerns are, at that level of business analytics.